God wants for you looks nothing like what you want for yourself. Oh, that's a dangerous one right there. See, because so many of us are living in the formula of frustration. Can I give you the formula of frustration real quick? It's fabricated expectations plus failed realities equaling feelings of frustration. You're fabricating, you made it up. You just made it up. Oh, no, I'm gonna graduate. And when I graduate, he gonna be 6'6". He's gonna have 6 figures. And then when you living in a one-bed apartment at 34, no kids, and the Toyota Camry, which is exactly where God wants you right now, because he's developing something in you. You're so frustrated because not that God left you, is your list doesn't. What if you had a relationship that was only based on what you could give the person? Like, what if they came up to you all the time and they were like, hey, what's going on, Becky? I love you. You look cute. Can I have could you provide for me this? Could you provide? That wouldn't be a real friendship. That would just be a business partner. And that would be transactional. And when you needed to call somebody, you wouldn't call them because all they wanted you for is what you had. I wonder how God feels. When people, the only time they talk to him is when they need him to save them. Most of the things that I used to pray for was things that I lusted for. Like, Lord, please, could you please make a way for me to get them new shoes, Lord? And I was desiring something instead of someone. How many of you have prayed a prayer like this? God, if you get me out of this situation, I promise I'll. Many times, the only time we talk to God is because we've lusted for something, or maybe gotten ourselves in a wrong situation, or maybe hooked up with the wrong people, or maybe did something we weren't supposed to, or maybe didn't study for the test and we want God to somehow transfer all the information into our heads, or whatever the thing is. And all we want God for is what he could produce. And I'm just saying the power of prayer is talking to God because of who he is. You just put the pastor thing down for a second and be real with me. See, because if the church doesn't talk about these things, then we leave it open for the world to define. You may not be down with all this Jesus stuff and Christian stuff, and you have all these other things that are speaking for your attention, but the church will try to tell you sometimes that you need to change before God can change you. But this tells us that God is not obsessed with your habits. He wants your heart. And if he ever gets your heart, he'll help you change your habits. And this is what you need to know, and I need to know, because some of you are so deep in stuff, and sexual impurity and sin and frustration and lust, that you're like, I don't know how to do this. What I'm telling you is you don't have to know, but I know somebody who knows how to do this. See, because the Bible always says, and God was with David, and God was with David. You can research it, and God was with David. I begin to say, God, why were you always with David? It said, because David was always with me. See, a lot of people want God to be with them, but they're not with him. And he's not going to intrude on your busy schedule. You got to make room for him. He's a gentleman. Though he stands at the door and knocks, you got to let him in. I can't speed up what God is doing. So what happens is we get up here, and even I'm trying to start running, and I'm gonna hurt myself trying to run when God told me to walk. And I'm trying to ask you, what area of your life are you running in and God's saying walk? It's gonna happen. You're gonna get to 7 miles. You're gonna get, but every lap, I want you to obey me. Every lap, yeah, I know. You want your husband, but you're 26, and you said, I'd never be 26 and not be married. He said, yeah, if you walk at this pace, I'm gonna work everything out of you, the hurts, all that stuff. It'll be 36 when you get married, but do you wanna set the pace, or do you want me to set it? Because you can get married and get divorced, and my plan will still come to pass by 36. You'll just be more scarred and more broken and more hurt. He said, but I don't want you to go through that. So if you let me set the pace, well, God, he is fine. He said, please let me set the pace. But you can tell if your relationship is from God just by the qualification. Does that relationship help you? They missed it. You can tell that if this fool you messing with is supposed to be in your life if this relationship is helping you. We tolerate more relationships that are taking away from us, that are stealing our peace, that are ravaging our joy, that have us up at night. Oh my God, I think he's gonna break up. Break up with him. He's not helping you. She's not helping. They're my friends. They are fly. They are fake. They are not helping you. So it doesn't take a word from God. When God wants to bless you, how does he do it? He sends people into your life. And when the devil wants to distract you or destroy you, how does he do it? He sends people into your life. So if people come into our life are either a blessing or a curse, it's up to us to be able to decipher, is this relationship going to benefit me and push me towards what God has for me? Or is this relationship going to subtract from me and take away from what God has for me? And I thought about it like this. There may be relationships that you have that are liabilities and not assets. And some of us don't understand those terms, but let me just explain it like this. Liabilities take from you. Assets give to you. What are the relationships in your life that are taking from you right now? Taking peace,